Hello everyone. Sorry, just a couple minutes late. I had some technical difficulties a little bit ago, so yeah, running just a tad behind. However, everything is all set and ready to go for our virtual class tonight. So for tonight's virtual class, it is going to be featuring our terrific toadstools and also our memorable blooms and one of the free celebration documenting the day stamp sets. So I'm going to be showing you all of that shortly. I just want to go over what the virtual class is. So this is a class that is free to watch. And I was just trying to find the description. When you spend $35 in my online store from today through the 11th, which is Tuesday, if you spend $35, I will send you this card kit as a thank you from me. Everything will be prepped and ready for you to go. The only thing that won't be ready is you will need some stamps, ink, and adhesive. I'll have all the die cut pieces done for you, but anything with the toadstool punch or, yeah, the toadstool punch I will not do for you. You will need to do yourself, but everything else will be included. Woohoo! Even envelopes. All right. So I am just going to, get my feet going here. Make sure I can see everything. And here we go. Almost there. And I just need to see the comments. So yeah, okay. Say hi. Let me know that you're here. Let me know what you're going to be doing this weekend, if you're going to be doing anything fun. It is really cold and super, super windy here. It's supposed to snow this weekend. I don't know how much or exactly if it's going to start on Saturday or Sunday. Don't know. So my son is going to probably be plowing and shoveling and all that good stuff. So I will be with my grandchildren all weekend. So I am trying to get ahead of schedules because next week I am doing a kit party. I'm super excited about that. So shout out to Marie for hosting a kit party. And what kit party are we going to be doing? Let me show you. We are going to be taking the perpetual calendar kit, and we're going to be making that. So this is our perpetual calendar kit. What's awesome about this is it comes in a kit. Everything that you need to complete this is already done. There is no, there's no calendar here. It's just numbers. So you can write, January 1st, it's so-and-so's birthday, or January 5th is so-and-so's anniversary. And you just keep going throughout the year. And you can use it year after year because it's not on a dated calendar. And then, in addition to that, they will be making 4 cards that they will be putting in their year of card box. So we'll be making this card box so they can set their cards in here. They'll be cards and envelopes, and they'll have their first 4 or 5 cards ready to go along with their calendar. So yeah, very fun. Super excited about that. And yeah, it's been a while since I've been able to go out and do a class. So I do like to be able, let me just put that away. I do like to be able to go out and do classes and events. So I have a lot of fun with that. So if you're local to me and would love to do a kit party, please let me know. I am more than happy to show up with all of my kits. Usually my kit parties are, well, this particular one, the perpetual calendar, is a little bit more, but usually it's $30. It includes your kit, kit of your choice. I bring all the kits I have. You select your kit, and I give you a little goodie with that. And then I also give you a great deal on getting additional kits at the class. So lots of fun. It's a great ladies' night out. Maybe, tea time in the morning, just a little break. Especially during this winter when it's yucky and cold. It's getting yucky and cold. Yeah, not liking that. So I love to be crafting and stamping when it's yucky and cold. That and playing with my dog inside and cuddling up with him because I don't want to go outside. All right. And he doesn't either. So although he does love snow, as soon as it's snow, he's like a little kid and he's whining at the door because he wants to go outside and play in the snow. But if it's windy, yeah, he's the biggest chicken ever. So I am going to flip down my camera. So if you get dizzy, close your eyes for a moment. I will let you know when to open them up. So here we go. Close your eyes. All right, there we go. We got my desktop showing here. Okay, change my And my lens a little bit. Ooh, that bright light is going right in my eyeballs. Hold on. I can't have that right in my eyeballs like that. Ooh. And let's see if we make this one a little brighter. There we go. My dog knocked over my lamp on my table that I normally have here, and he kind of broke it. Like, I mean, it still works, but it doesn't go to the spot that I need it to. Like, it used to have a flexible arm, and that arm isn't so flexible anymore. All right. Just had a little sip of soda there. I am feeling better. Not 100%, but I am feeling better. I've been making myself take it easy, which is, if you know me, it's extremely difficult to do. I can't just sit around and do nothing, but I've been forcing myself to do that. Yeah, like I've been not even going into my stamp room. Otherwise, because I'll start doing a bunch of stuff in here. And while I love it and enjoy it and it relaxes me, it is not what my body needed. So, yeah, I've just been having to take it easy, which, again, don't like. So, jumping back into things, kind of doing it slowly. So this month, I do have, instead of doing multiple in-person classes, I'm having a Super Saturday. And that will be on February 22nd. The details will be sent out tomorrow in an email. I am going to be hosting 3 classes. It's going to all be on the same day. It just makes it easier for me to just do it on one day and have everything prepped on one day. Just so I can get back in the swing of, you know, getting healthy again. So we're going to do a Stamp-A-Stack in the morning. We're going to be using, featuring birthdays. So it's a birthday card Stamp-A-Stack. That is in person. I do not send that one out. Because we use so many different stamp sets and everything else like that. There's no way I can really send that as a class to go. I will be having 2 other classes, though, that will be classes to go. So you can either come and do them, or I can mail them out. They would be mailed out on the 22nd. So, yeah, the details will be going out tomorrow, probably mid-afternoon. So, let's get started on our cards today. I just need to move a couple of things out of the way and just figure out which card I want to do first, because I like them all. I really, really do. Let's see. I have to do this one before that one. All right. Okay. So I'm just getting my little stacks here together. I have everything cut, and I'm going to show you what you're going to get in your class so that you know. One of the things I didn't die cut, I will do for you, but I'm not going to, I wanted to just show you the die. So the first card that we're going to make is going to be this fun, kind of, I don't know, I don't want to call them retro colors, but just some different colors. I've been trying to really kind of stretch my use of my colors and playing with more and coming up with different color combinations. So I like to do that on occasion. And so I'm just reaching out and stretching my color wings, so to speak. All right, so I'm going to put that card out of the way. And what you're going to get in your class kit is you're going to get 2 of each card. So you can get a total of 6 cards in your class kit. Everything will be put in envelopes for you, and it will all be sorted so you know exactly what you need. So on this one, we have a piece of Lost Lagoon, 5.5 by 8.5, folded in half at 4 1/4. You've got a piece of Basic White, which is 4 by 5 1/4. That's for the inside of the card. You then have a piece of Wild Wheat, which I've die cut using our perennial postage dies, so that will be done for you. I'm going to be using some linen thread, and I'll throw in some linen thread in your kit so you have enough to do your card here. You have a piece of Basic Beige. This piece of Basic Beige is 2 7/8 by 4 inches. So that is going to be right on there. We're going to be stamping on that. And here's the other card. So I'm going to just put this one aside. And then you'll have a piece of white to... Where did I put my white? I know I cut it here. You'll have a piece of white here. There'll just be one piece of white. You're going to do all your stamping on this one piece, so you'll have enough for all of your cards. All for both of these cards, I should say. All right, I got a couple little things already kind of stamped out. All right, so we're going to start with our stamping on our, I'm going to move this stuff out of the way. And we're going to take our little mushroom cap here. And for this card, we'll be using Copper Clay, Basic Beige, Lost Lagoon, and Wild Wheat. So these are the 4 colors that we'll be using for today on this card. All right, so let's just start with, I don't know what I want to start with. You know what, we're going to start with our piece of Basic Beige here. I do need to pull in a piece of scrap paper. All right, because we're going to put our little land down at the bottom here. We don't want our, sorry, I have all my stamps kind of mounted already, some of them. So I'm just going to put this one right there. So we're going to use our little ground here. And I'm going to ink that up with our Basic Beige. Hello, Amy. How are you this evening? All right, and I am just going to take it off. And I want to make sure I'm stamping off the bottom and off to the side a little bit. So there we go. If for some reason I missed it, I can go back and I can just add another layer, okay? So I'm just going to flip it over because I really just want the one. All right, just like that. I need my Basic Beige out because the next thing I'm going to do is grab my white piece of cardstock back. And let's go ahead and we're going to stamp our stems here. Now I'm going to be grabbing a whole bunch of blocks. Let's see, I had a bunch out earlier. Let me just put some of these other things back that I'm not going to be using. Kind of had these left over from yesterday when I did the Facebook Live. All right, I need to clean this. It's got a little bit of Melon Mambo on it. So yesterday in our Hump Day lunch break, we also featured our Toadstools, and we did a one-sheet wonder kind of thing with a 6x6 piece of paper. So if you missed it, make sure you go over to my YouTube channel and check it out. All right, so I'm going to stamp that one. I'm going to stamp this one. Now, it's up to you. If you don't like it so dark and you want a little bit lighter one, you can stamp it a little bit lighter. It is really light, so I'm going to actually be using this one. Again, I just re-inked all of my pads, so mine are probably a little bit darker than what you would have. And then we have our tiny little guy. And I'm just going to put that there. All right, all of those I'm going to be fussy cutting. So yeah, there's a little bit of fussy cutting with this one. We'll use the punch, but for the most part, I'm going to be fussy cutting most of them. All right, so now I need to bring in my Lost Lagoon. We're going to take that one first. And I'm going to ink this up. Now this one I did not ink, so we'll see how light it is. All right, so I've got my Lost Lagoon. Now notice I am stamping towards the top of my cardstock. All right, so that is a key with this one. You need to stamp that up to the top because we are going to be putting it in our punch. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my Wild Wheat. I'm going to grab our other, what the heck is that? Don't know what that was. A little piece of plastic on there. I'll take this one. And I'm going to ink that one up and put it right up here. If you don't like it so dark, you can always go back over and do that. So you'll have enough room to get all these in here. Don't worry. All right. And our last mushroom cap is going to be in Copper Clay. I really like Copper Clay. I haven't used it for a while, though. Right. So you can see that you're going to have enough room to do all of your stuff. And you know what? I may as well just go back and just get everything all stamped at one time. That way I have all the pieces I need for my 2 cards. Now, I'm only going to be assembling one on the video here. And let's see our other one. All right, and I'm going to just turn this one. Actually, I'm going to do my punching, and then I'll come back and do my other pieces. So let's grab our punch here. And I'm going to slide this one in just like this. I'm going to line it up. Now, don't forget your punch is a tad smaller than your stamped image. Now, my next one, notice how I'm going to go up like that. Just need to get that in there. So there's that one. Now, this is what happens, too. You get an extra piece here. So you can actually stamp that extra piece that was punched. You take your... Because your stamp is bigger than your punch. So I'm going to go ahead and just look through there and press it down. And then I can lift that up. And there we go. All right. And then I'm going to stamp one more in my wild wheat, just because I do want it darker. I'm going to close these up. We'll punch this one out now. Oh. Just going to have to take this and get this top part cut off because it didn't slide all the way in there. All right, so here we go. We'll get this one punched. All right. So now on one of these little scraps that you have here, we're going to put our pieces over there. I'm going to bring in my tiny little bug. So I've got a little bug. And then I've got another little mushroom cap that I'm going to use for the bug body. So here is how I'm going to do that. I'm going to pull in my black Memento ink. And I just dropped an ink pad. Oh, darn. Ooh, I don't know which one it was. Oh, it was a refill. Oh, put that back up there. Sorry. I didn't want to have that underneath my chair and roll over it. Okay. So I'm going to stamp my little bug just like that. So I need that for, if you want to use one of the other colors that you have, feel free. And now I'm going to take my copper clay and we're going to stamp this one. I don't know why I'm rushing. Tonight is our longer video, so I shouldn't really rush. And I'm just going to stamp two of these right away. I should have stamped two black ones, but I already had an extra bug or two right here. All right. Okay, so let's get to our fussy cutting here. Let's move all our stamps and blocks out of the way. So let's just start with our mushroom cap. And I'm just cutting it out. You can leave as much white around it as you want. Whatever works for you. I'm just going to go this way. And so yeah, so this is the fun part of the video. You get to watch me fussy cut. I know some people are like kind of allergic to doing fussy cutting. You know what? After you do it a couple of times, you get better. Every time you do it, you get a little better. So just, you know, play around with your stamps. Do some fussy cutting. Because not all of our stamps have a punch or a die. It happens. And you don't necessarily have to fussy cut. Like, I could have just actually stamped my mushroom cap right onto my basic beige. But I really wanted to punch this one. I wanted to have this one popped up. So I knew I had to cut it out. All right. And you can see I'm not perfect at fussy cutting. Today is going to be one of those days, I can just tell. All right, I'm going to cut out my little bug here. I'm just going to do the one over here. And this guy's a little bit more challenging. I'm not going in between each of his legs. I'm kind of just rounding it. You just need to take your time with this guy because you don't want to cut off his little antenna either. Now, if you don't have the colors I'm using, you can use other colors. Maybe you want to use red. Maybe you want to use, you know, a different blue. You can use Cajun Craze. All right. And let's just cut our... So we'll cut this. Now, for my bug, I'm probably going to need to cut it down just a little bit. But we'll see. All right. So it's kind of like a little ladybug. All right, so let's assemble this one first, just because I'm going to need to give it a moment to dry. I'm going to go ahead and grab my detailed glue here. Hopefully this is not all clogged. Okay. So I'm just going to put just a little bit of glue right up here. All right, not a whole lot, just a little bit. I'm going to cover that back up. I'm going to get my take a pick tool, because this is one of those times that a take a pick tool is a good thing to have. All right, so now I'm putting my little ladybug wing right there, and look how darling that is. I mean, it's really cute. Even though it's a bug, it's still cute. Just saying. All right. So now let's get all of our little things going here. So we're going to bring back in our... Let's throw all these extra pieces away here. All right. We'll move this out of the way for the moment. And we're going to take our basic beige here. I do want to stamp my sentiment. So I'm stamping the just a little thank you. And I'll do that in my copper. Make sure I have it going the right direction. And I'm just going to stamp it right up in the corner, just like so. It's okay. It's a little wonky. Yeah, doesn't matter. All right. I'm going to take this and I'm going to adhere this to my wild wheat postage die. Hi, Becky. How are you? You've been fighting a bad headache. Are you getting... Oh, hi, Amy. Are you getting headaches because of the weather? Or... I know you've got a lot going on. But just curious if the weather makes it worse. Okay. So now sometimes it's really hard to tie a bow when your linen thread is like this. So I've shared this before, but just in case you haven't ever heard me say it, I'm just going to take my bone folder here. I'm going to hold my thumb on the flat surface of it, and I'm just going to pull this through. All right, that's going to kind of take some of that curl out. Now, on the counterpart, if I wanted to add more curl, I would just do it on this edge, right? So we're just going to straighten that out a little bit more. All right. Take our bow. And I'm going to make a little bow over along the side here. I can tie it anywhere and I can slide this over, so that way if I haven't cut my thread just right, I can move it over a little bit. All right, so we're just going to tie a pretty simple bow. I tied a knot first. A lot of times I find with this, you know, narrow stuff, I have a hard time tying a bow, so I tie a little knot first. Just makes it easier. All right, so we're going to snip that tail off there. Slide that over. Now I just need to slide this around. So I'm just going to curl my cardstock just a little bit and gently move this over to where I want it to be. Sometimes you can slide it just without curling that, but I don't want to rip my cardstock. So that's why I'm doing it that way. All right. So there we go. I am going to go ahead and pop this up on dimensionals. Now I had my dimensionals out. I took some downstairs with me. Here we go. I've been assembling kits all day today. Well, not all day today. During my lunch hour. I went ahead and I bought some new kits and I wanted to create some boards. So I was assembling kits. I kind of did that last night too while I was watching a movie. I did take it easy last night. I chilled out, watched a movie, put a card kit together. I love Stampin' Up! Card kits. They're just so, I don't know, it's so relaxing to do them. And it's so easy just to take the box downstairs and sit in front of the TV, and there I go. The only thing extra that I really need to grab is, a lot of times I'll grab an extra block. I'll grab my scissors and the stamp pad, because I don't know, I'm not always thrilled to use my little ones here. I do keep these, so when I am traveling, I can take colors with me. And sometimes I give these as gifts. So I tend to take my full stamp pad down. All right, let's get going, because we didn't cut out our stems yet. So I should probably stop yakking here and just cut out my stems. Again, leave as much white as we want around there. I'm cutting it pretty close. So that color did lighten up a little bit. All right, so I've got one. All right, so now you've probably seen me make, I don't know, how many cards have I made using this stamp set? 10? So you've probably seen about 10 different samples of cards. Have you fallen in love with this stamp set yet? If you haven't, check out the February Studio Card Club, because that is also featuring this stamp set. So you're going to have the 4 ideas from Club, the 3 ideas from tonight, the 3 ideas from yesterday, and all the other ones I've done. So you're going to have oodles of ideas. I tried to give you some ideas using different designer series paper other than the Celebration one. But that Celebration paper is so cute. We are going to use it again tonight. Just saying. I mean, it's free stuff. You know, it's a $12.50 value that you're going to get for free. I just want to pick up all these little pieces here. Keep my space a little bit cleaner. All right, let's go ahead and put our little card together. I'm going to put my small little one right down here. I'm going to put my larger one here, and this one right over, kind of off to the side. So I'm first going to actually take this one, and I do want my liquid glue again. It's just going to be easier to do. So I'm going to take my liquid glue. In fact, I'm just going to put my liquid glue right on here. Oh, come on, don't get clogged. Oh, hold on, I gotta. If you don't cover these things right away, and sometimes, and if you don't put them upside down, what will happen is they'll get clogged. That needle's very thin. All right, so hopefully it won't clog now. All right, so I've got that one right there. Probably need to move it over just a tad. Wipe off some of the extra glue. And we're going to take this one and put it on a dimensional. Doot. And here we go. This one I'm going to be sliding just underneath. And the other thing is I want my cap here. So I'm going to go ahead and put some glue right there. I'm going to put my stem where I want it. I'm just going to hold it for a moment there just so it kind of stays in place a little. Okay, I didn't hold it long enough. Stays in place a little better. Do 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 do. Okay, that's enough, right? All right, we'll put some glue here, some glue right here, and it got clogged. Come on. Come on, baby, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it. All right, I'll take the pin again. All right, and so I'm going to slide that right underneath there. Now, every time you make your card, it's going to be a little different, just saying. So we'll put a little bit of glue on this one. So let's grab our mushroom cap. I'm just going to put a little dollop right there. I'm going to take this right here. And I'm just going to press down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh my goodness, Amy. I hope everything goes well tomorrow. I've been thinking about you a lot. All right. All right. All right, we'll leave that on its side and hopefully it won't clog. All right, so then here's this one. All right, so let's get this one covered right away. That way, hopefully, it won't clog again. And now I've got my tiny little bug. We'll put a little mini glue dot on that one. And we'll put a bug right here. Oop, the backing didn't come off. I was like, why isn't that sticky? All right, and we'll put a little bug right there. Okay, I really like this card. I've been trying to use wild wheat in my, in colors because the wild wheat, the copper clay, the pebble path, moody mauve, and boho blue, those are going to be retiring in April, so they won't be in the new catalog. That comes out in May. So if you have these stamp pads, make sure to get your cardstock and your re-inkers. I am telling you way early because it's going to happen. They are going to be retired. You are not going to be able to get them. So stock up on your blends, your refills, your ink, your cardstock now. Do it now while you can get some extra celebration kits and that you have it so that you don't run out. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do this. We're going to take our stem. I need a stem. I need a stem. And I'm just going to put one. I'll just do this one right here. So we'll grab our basic beige. So basic beige right here. And because I just like the copper clay, I'm going to use copper clay again. Oop, that's not copper clay. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? And we'll use the same mushroom cap. And we'll put it over there just like that. Ooh, that's such a fun color. I'm going to miss that color a lot. All right. I don't know what colors they have in store for us, although I think there is a strawberry color coming out, like a pinky red, strawberry slush, strawberry sorbet. I don't know what it is. We'll find out. But I have seen some of the new online exclusives that will be coming out next month, and they have some new in colors. All right, so that's card 1. Card 2. Card 2. Where are you? I buried it. I buried it. Where did it go? I didn't really bury it. All right, this is our card 2. So let me get our bits and pieces here. All right. So in this kit, we've got a piece of plum cake, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4 or folded in half. We're going to be doing the, I think this is the hot dog version. This is the hamburger version, hot dog version. I don't remember. Okay. So I got that. I've got a piece of Pretty in Pink, 4 by 5 1/4, which we're going to just layer right on there, just like that. In fact, we'll just do that right now. Just like that. I did not fold my paper very well. Oh well. Okay. I've got a piece of Granny Apple Green. We're going to be stamping on that. I've got a piece of Early Espresso, and this measures 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. So this is going to be put right here. Now you can either put it on dimensionals or lay it flat. I'm going to be laying it flat. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that on right away. All right. Just like that. Now you have a piece of Designer Series paper. So it originally was 6 by 6. I cut it in half. So it's 3 by 6. Boy, my trimmer was really bad there. I'm going to just retrim this one because that is not a good look. All of yours will, I'm just going to be sending a piece like this to you, so that will be in your kit. You'll have to cut yours down. So I'm just going to cut it at 3 inches. All right. So we have 2 pieces that are 3 by 6. And now I'm going to cut this piece down to be 4 1/4. I'm going to save this piece. I need this for the next card. All right. So we're going to adhere this one down. Yep, and you will be getting that piece of designer series paper on your card kit. No worries. All right. And then you have a scrap piece of white. Okay, so this one is the same thing. You just need some white for your stamping. All right, so let's move these colors out of the way. And let's get to our next colors. So we'll be using Melon Mambo and Granny Apple Green and Early Espresso. Oops. There we go. Okay. So let's stamp our Granny Apple Green first. So now on this card, I'm going to be pulling in the Documenting the Day. Now you've seen me do a couple other cards on this one. I do have one of the cards in the February Terrific Toadstools Club that uses this stamp set. However, if you don't have it, you can use something else. It's totally fine. The card's easy enough to just switch out something. That's all. All right, so on this one, I'm going to be pulling just the word day. And I also need a perfect. Now, when I was making this card, I was cracking myself up because I'm like, I kept singing, oh, what a fine day. Oh, what a perfect day. So I'm singing this whole time. And I'm like, oh, it's not a perfect day. It's a, what a fine day. One fine day. Yeah. And so, yeah, I was all messed up on my words. Some days. Okay. I need my longer block here. So I'm just going to pop that on just like that. Now, this is a big, bold stamp, okay? When you first get this, I'm going to show you. Let me go grab my buffer here. So I just take a buffer block that is, you know, from doing your nails, and I just rub this gently along here, okay? Not real hard, just gently. It kind of takes off that film. And now I'm going to go ahead and clean that really good. In fact, I'm going to take my, here we go, just clean all the excess. It takes that film off, and it will give you a more solid stamped image. All right. So I've got my Granny Apple Green here. And because I'm using such a large block, I find it much easier to take my stamp pad to my block. All right. So I'll flip this over now, and I'm just going to stamp day right on here, and it'll just fit, which is fine because we're going to be trimming it out anyways. There we go. Oh, good enough. All right, let's just get this one clean. Back away. Let's get a perfect. I don't need this, so I don't need this one. So we'll clean that one off and put that back on our little thing right here. All right. So let's just go ahead and cut this out. I am going to cut all the letters out. If you don't want to cut the letters out, you could just use a strip. It's up to you. You're going to have this strip, so you do what makes you feel comfortable. Alrighty. I am not going to bother cutting out the inside of the letters. To me, that's just way too much work. Now, if you didn't have this stamp set and you have dies, alphabet dies, use your alphabet dies. Or maybe you have an alphabet set. Use that. Stamp the word day. And I will trim this part out. Now, you can see that the ink is pretty dark here. It lightens up a little bit. Again, when you first re-ink your stamp pads, they're pretty inky. I use my Granny Apple Green an awful lot, so I made sure that I really inked it so I don't have to run out of ink. All right, we'll get rid of these bits and pieces here. Get rid of that stamp set. All right, so what we're going to end up doing is we're going to put day right here like that. And before I actually adhere that down, I'm just going to adhere it down with seal. I want to tuck my mushroom behind there. So I'm going to grab my scrap here. I'm going to grab my early espresso. So I've got my stem. Oh, I need that out yet. I've got my Melon Mambo. Two. All right. And now I need my early espresso again to stamp my sentiment. Okay. All right, let's get our punch. Now, if you don't have the punch, you can fussy cut that out. So there's my punch. Boop. All right. I may already have to cut all this out anyways, so. And this one I'm leaving a little bit more white than I did on the other ones. Sometimes cutting away that excess paper makes it easier to do your fussy cutting. And when you're doing it, just make sure you're turning your paper. You know, your scissors are not going to turn. They're made of steel. They're not going to be flexible. So just turn your paper. All right. So now I'm just going to cut around this. And I'm just wiggling my paper. Kind of just going with the flow of those letters there. I get to the top, a little more tricky. Just a little more challenge to hold it, that's all. There we go. All right. So let's get going on this one. And I'm going to go ahead, this time I'm going to put my mushroom cap in front. So I could use a little bit of adhesive. I could use liquid glue. I can take my seal. There we go. All right. And now, I'll seal here. I'm not popping that up because I want to slide that underneath behind my letters here. So we're going to have it up a little bit higher. Now I can take my letters. And what I like to do is I like to do my middle letter first. Even though this is sticking to my fingers. But I'm going to take my middle letter. A lot of times I do start with the outside, but on this one, I'm going to start with the middle. Okay, one fine day. All right, And then I'm just going to pop this up on dimensionals. So I'll use my little mini but mighty dimensionals. Totally worth getting both sizes of dimensionals. And with Celebration on right now, this is the best time to stock up on your adhesive, your envelopes, your cardstock. You know, get your free designer series paper. Get your free stamp set. But this is a great time to stock up on all that stuff. All right. There we go. So that is our second card. And now I need this piece back. And we're going to get to our third card here. Okay, so again, you're going to get 2 of these. I need this piece right here. Well, you know what? We'll just do that. And need that for the inside. Okay. You're not going to get a large piece like this. I'm going to be die cutting this piece for you. You will get this die cut basic white shade. You have a piece of, well, that's interesting, 5.5 by 8.5 piece of granny apple green. Fold it in half. Take your bone folder, give it a rub. Just kind of crease it really good. Oh, let's see. We need soft sea foam this time. I thought I pulled it out. Didn't I pull this out? Yep. Soft sea foam and gray granite. And where's my card? There it is. Okay. All right. And the other piece of designer series paper you're going to have, and I forgot to cut my piece. You're going to have a little piece of 3x3 designer series paper here. So you'll have one for each of your cards. That will also be included. All right. So now what did I do with that other piece I said don't lose? That we're going to use it. What did I do with it? I had it right here. Okay, it's not there. It's not there, not there, not there. Is it buried? Just here it is. Okay, don't lose that piece. All right. So this is going to be for the inside of your card. So let's start with some of our die cutting first. So like I said, this piece is already going to be done for you. And what I'm going to do right now is going to be done for you. I'm going to be using the Memorable Blooms bundle. I love this bundle because it's got such a pretty die set. So this is the die that I cut that white from. And this one also makes a really pretty pattern that you can just put right on a piece of designer series paper. And we're going to be using this one right here. So these 3 cut out your stamped images here. And I am going to be using the sentiment set from this one as well. But let's run this through first. And I'll just grab my little mini machine here. Now, you could run it through with, you know, your adhesive sheets. I'm not going to. I'm just going to use my liquid glue for it. So I'm just going to do 2 of them right away so I have one for that other card. Hi, Helen. How are you feeling? I know that you're feeling a little under the weather, too. Oh, where did it come out? There we go. I'm just going to cut one more for the other card. There we go. Helen, you made a really cute card the other day. I don't know if you saw my post. All right. We'll just pop that out. I'm going to put my die away right away so I don't lose it. Toss it right in there. Okay. Now, next steps. I need to take this, and I'm going to be pulling in my gray granite here, and I'm going to stamp two stems, can't talk, I need to clean this one off because that still has early espresso on it. And I'm stamping on this pattern paper because, you know, that kind of looks like the mushroom stem or underneath the mushroom cup. I just kind of thought it was kind of clever. So I am going to stamp on it. So I've got this one right here. This is going to lighten up. This one right here. And I'll just fussy cut those two out. I'm going to, yeah, let's just cut that out first. And then we'll go ahead and punch our other. And this I'm cutting right to the ink. So if I cut it a little smaller, that's fine. All right, there's that one. I just thought it was kind of fun because you can kind of see the pattern of that paper through the ink. It kind of gave it a little bit of a dimension. That, and I just want to remind you that you can stamp on your designer series paper. It doesn't have to just always be a layer. I love stamping on my designer paper. I do it quite frequently, actually. Oh, I wanted to cut that all the way through. All right. I have a little bit of that pattern showing, but that's okay. All right. Now I'm going to come back with this one, and I'm going to bring my punch in. Where is my punch? And I'm going to punch one of these going, well, depending on what way you cut your paper, will depend on kind of what way you're going to, we're just going to punch. I'm going to go right to the edge there. So I've got that one, and now this piece I can slide in. I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to punch the other mushroom. All right. So you decide which mushroom you want to be in which pattern. Does not matter. Where did my other little... There it is. It was kind of blending in with my tabletop. All right, so now the next thing I need to do is take my layer of soft sea foam, and I'm going to stamp in soft sea foam. And I am going to be, because I'm making a thank you card, so I'm doing thanks so much, which will be stamped on my die cut right there. I'm going to stamp I appreciate your thoughtfulness across my card here. So let's get that stamp. Until it's a newer set, I haven't mounted everything yet. Okay, we'll need this one though, and we'll need this one. All right. Let's put this at an angle. Let's grab my scrap piece of paper again. And okay. So I'm going to stamp this one right in the middle. And then I'll stamp off to the side and the side. It doesn't matter if you know, what direction you stamp in, as long as it's all going in the same direction. I tend to, when I want to get things lined up a little bit better, if I try to look at it this way and stamp, I have a tendency to, I don't know, go off at a slant. So what I find is if I stamp upside down or at an angle, my lines are a little bit straighter. Not that it really matters. Okay. Like that one wasn't very straight, but okay. There we go. I just want to give it a little pattern, so I'm making my own pattern paper, basically is all I'm doing. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and adhere this right to my card front. Again, I'm just going to use seal, but if you want to add some dimension, you can go ahead and use your dimensionals. Okay. Now, I am going to be stamping on this, and then I'm going to use my dimensionals on it. So we'll go ahead and grab my Thanks so much. And I'm going to grab my gray granite here. And I'm going to stamp this up towards the top, just like that. Okay. Now I'm going to take this right here. When I do this, I want to have my stem be towards the bottom, but I do want to have it at a slight angle like this, okay? So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to take my liquid glue, and I'm just going to kind of dot some of my leaves here. I gotta think of some better show tunes or something. Normally I have a children's song running through my head, but I haven't seen the little stinkers since the weekend, so I haven't been singing too much. Alright, so I'll just go ahead and just pat that down a little bit. Give it a little massage. Just so my glue kind of takes place there. Okay. Now, I'm going to use my mini dimensionals. Again, mini but mighty. So we're going to put our dimensionals on here. I'm going to go ahead and use 3 of them. I'm going to grab this one, and I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to put some dimensionals just around the top. Because I am going to put that stem in there, and it would already be popped up. So, take those off. Take this off. Thanks, Amy. Okay, so there's that one. I'm going to just slide that right over the top, just like that. I'm going to make sure that I'm not covering my sentiment. That is why I didn't put any dimensionals there. So I can make sure that I'm down far enough and not covering my sentiment. Now we're going to take our other one here, and this one I am just going to put some liquid glue on. Okay, come on. I am squeezing this so hard, and it is just not coming out. I think what happens is there is stuff on my needle here, or my pin, that I need to clean off, and that's what's making it worse, I think. All right. Let's close that up. We're going to tuck this one right kind of behind here. All right, and this one I'm going to use my other side. And when I put this on, I know that's going to be overlapping this one, so I don't need dimensionals over here. I just need them over here. So when I do this, I'm just going to put 3 little dimensionals right on that side. Now again, you can use any pattern paper to make this card. It's just cute. All right. And then we're going to flip it over, and we're going to just use some regular dimensionals this time. Okay, 1, 2, 3. And we'll put this right on the front, just like that. All right. And then for the inside here, I'm actually just going to, I think I'm just going to stamp this in my gray granite. This one. I didn't even mount that one yet. Just want to make sure what direction I was going in there. And we'll just put this right at the bottom, right there, just like that. And we're going to insert this. Okay, again, using very different color combinations, using my gray granite with my granny apple green. All right, so now we've got our 4 cards done here. I mean, our 3 cards done here. And we can go ahead and add a little embellishment. So probably the easiest embellishment to add would be your basic rhinestones or your antique ones here, because they're just a very neutral color. But I want to add a little something more. So we're going to use, sorry, I didn't have it in my little sleeve, so they're coming kind of all apart. I'm going to use, well, we'll just use these. These are the party dots. If I can slide this out. Okay. So on this one, I'm going to use my little pink ones here. All right, just put those on. Again, this is the party dots. I'll make sure to list the all the supplies that I use for each of the cards are going to be posted. I'll probably do a separate post with each card and then the supplies. This is up on my website already, so if you want to go to www.mystampstudio.com and go to my blog post, you'll see each of these samples already with the supply list. If you're watching this on YouTube, the supply list will be in the description, so you can see everything that I used with links to my online store. And again, you can get this class kit for free. So you'll get 2 of each design. You'll get your envelopes with it. Everything will be die cut for you. You will need to have your stamps and your ink. But the perennial postage die I'll cut, the memorable blooms dies, I'll cut those for you. Everything will be cut down to shape. You just have to assemble those in. Now you can use definitely a different stamp set that you have in your stash, or you can go ahead and purchase that bundle. It's a really fun one. Okay, let's see. I'm going to do something different. I think, I don't know, yellow. I don't want to use pink again. I guess maybe I will. Just because kind of it blends in a little bit more than I wanted. We'll put one right there. And we'll put another one maybe right up here. Yeah, we'll put it right there. Okay, just so it stands out a little bit more. All right, and then this one, I'm going to use our yellow, because I think the yellow, nope, we'll use the blue. Because it's kind of, the pool party-ish is kind of like a light Lost Lagoon. Okay, normally this time of year, I'm getting ready to go on a trip to Jamaica. We decided not to go to Jamaica this year. Probably a good thing since I've been so sick, but I am really missing the fact that I'm not going to be in Jamaica next week. Kind of sad. So next year, I told my husband we are going to Jamaica again. Because, yeah, at this point in the year, I need to have that sunshine and escape. All right, so there are tonight's cards. I hope you enjoyed them. And again, you get the class kit for free when you purchase a $35 order in my online store. The class kit will be everything that you see here except for your stamps. You'll need your stamps yourself, so I won't supply that. But I'll supply you all the cardstock and everything that you need. You'll get a little bit of linen thread for that. And you'll get your envelopes. I also send a color PDF tutorial, which contains all the step-by-step instructions, the measurements, all the supplies, everything you need to recreate these cards over and over. So have a great weekend. Spend your weekend with, people that love you and appreciate you and that you love and appreciate. I'm going to get some baby time this weekend. I can't wait. They're getting so big so fast. They're already 19 months old. Can you believe it? Oh my gosh. They're going to be 2 soon. Oh, where does the time go? Those little stinkers. They're so cute, and they fill my life with joy, and it makes everything really so much better. Because I can always send them home. All right. Well, thanks again, everyone. Love you, and I'm so glad that you spent your Thursday evening with me. Bye.